what's going on, y'all? This your boy Caseyfield, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. I'm a day later because, as y'all know, I get in super late, and I'm not finna sit up and try to review a show and then they ain't there fall asleep trying to do the review. Let's go ahead and break down this show. This is the third edition of the St. Patrick's Day Slam. We are a year removed from the Lights Out match, revolving around these two young ladies right here. This was for all the marbles. This is for the AEW Women's World Heavyweight Championship, the Women's Championship. And I'm going to be 1,000% with y'all. The steel cage match was great. I still prefer the Lights Out match. I think the Lights Out match, that match alone, I don't know. It was just something about that matchup. Even though the result didn't count because Thunder won, and it's a Lights Out match, which means it's not held on the record. But it just seemed like that match alone, because of what the time they was given a lot of time to do what they wanted to do. This time around, again, time restriction, time restraints. I felt like they kind of rushed certain things that took place in this matchup. But overall, obviously, it was the best match on the show. You can debate that with the tag team match with the Hardy Boys and Private Party. Or you can also talk about Moxie and Bryan Danielson versus Yuta and Chucky T. This Dynamite, let me go ahead and be 1,000% with y'all. AEW Dynamite yesterday, for me, was a decent show. There was still some stuff on the show that I wasn't feeling. It made me really scratch my head and ask TK, TK, what the clown did you thinking, bro? And I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna give you an honest reason why I wasn't feeling certain things that took place on the show, and we're gonna go on from that. Before I talk about that, I wanted to talk about word on the street is Joey Janela is leaving AEW. He won't be missing. I gave that dude a shot. I gave him a chance. To me, he just looked like a wannabe Bret Hart, but on extreme. He was as if Bret Hart went to ECW. That's basically what it was. Now, I'm not saying he had the wrestling ability like Bret, but he wore those sunglasses like Bret Hart. That's automatically that's what I thought about. I thought about Bret Hart. If Bret Hart went to ECW, that would be him. But he can't wrestle like Bret. So obviously he's letting his contract ride out. TK wasn't checking for the man, and then word on the street is that he was hurting cats in the back, hurting Eddie Kingston, hurting a whole lot of cats. So he really was not safe to work with. Listen, he got his name out there. Cats know who he is. Cats know who he's all about. Hey, go run GCW, man. Like I said, they tried. They tried so many different things. It's not to say that dude wasn't getting no spot. Dude was getting a lot of shine. Dude was always. He got the matches with Kenny. They tried to do something with him and Sonny Kiss and all that stuff, but that's it. Like I said, the matchup he had with Darby, those Extreme Rules type of matches that they was having. But outside of that, he won't be missing. He won't. I'm trying to think, is anything else I need to speak on before I go any further? Before I dive deep into this episode. No. If it's anything that I need to speak on, I'll talk about it at the end of the show. But I just want to go ahead and give my thoughts about this show. So let's go ahead and break this down. My bad, y'all. Let's go ahead and break this down. Okay, so we open the show up. We get Adam Cole, Red Dragon versus Jurassic Express and Hangman. Now remember, the name of the game, quote unquote, champions losing on television. We see that foolishness 24/7 watching WWE television. AEW, if they do it, it's a rare thing. I don't like it, period. I don't like it. I don't need to see it. This matchup, trios match. This matchup, the MVP of this matchup obviously was Hangman. Hangman, look, say what you got to say about Cowboy Poop, Red Dead Redemption, whatever you want to call him. Hangman is one of the best in AEW, man. I'm telling you. The dude, listen, when he go out there and when he want to wrestle, man, Hangman go out, he goes out his way to have a banger. And that's kudos to the cats he had the opportunity to bang out with. Adam Cole, Red Dragon, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy. Listen, man, y'all know I ain't a big fan of the trios matches. I'm not. But these cats went out there. They had a banger of a match. My only issue with the matchup is what took place at the very end. Jurassic Express and them had no business losing this match because once again, you're trying to build up the champions. You're trying to build them up, correct? I'm like this. Why didn't you have... See, this is what I said. Why couldn't he go get some other jabronis outside of Jurassic Express? If you knew Hangman and them was losing, why couldn't you... Because you know Hangman wouldn't get pinned. You already knew that. Why couldn't you go get other clowns who don't have the titles? Man, I don't know, man. That right there, that kind of threw me off because I said, come on, TK, man. We did this the week before... I mean, the show before All Out. The show before Revolution with Brit and Thunder. By having Thunder pin Brit. And I'm like, here we go again. The champion get... I'm like, we don't need to be doing that foolishness. We just don't. And TK said, I'm going to follow up and I'm going to give you an excellent trios match and then give you that dumb man result. I'm like, come on, dog. Come on. Come on. I wasn't feeling that, man. I would have preferred they threw somebody else in there and let them get pinned if you was going to have Hangman Squad lose. But they really are building up Red Dragon. Is Red Dragon going to take the championships off of them? I don't know, man, because as of right now, AEW's tag team division is starting to heat up. You got the new coming of the Hardy. They're no longer going by Hardy brothers, the Hardy boys. They're going the Hardys. I mean, it's the tag team division it's always been stacked, but it's getting even better. So I don't know what they doing. I don't know. So we just gonna move on from that. So like I said, that's my take on that. Trios match is good. It's a good trios match. I just wasn't feeling the result. So thought the result was stupid. Backstage, we got Keith Lee standing there with Tony Schiavone, Ricky Starks, Will Hobbs. Tony trying to talk to Keith. Them clowns, now obviously they can't touch each other right now. Keith trying to speak, Keith trying to say what he got to say, gets interrupted by Ricky Starks and said, listen, sir, I told you not to be bringing your behind on my show Rampage because when you do, me and him going to lay your behind out just like we did. And then Keith Lee said, man, look, bro, you basically wasted your time because I had you screaming like a little bee. You know, so obviously, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, we're going to have Keith. Now, here's the deal for me. You just had him dealing with QT Marshall crew, right? Why don't you go ahead and have Keith Lee go against Nick Carmarato, the straight jacket man? He's sitting right there. Tony Schiavone said on Rampage, we're going to have Keith Lee versus Max Caster. And the moment he said that, I said, what do I keep saying? Nobody in the Acclaim needs to be losing from here on out. And there you go. Max Caster's finna lose again. I say, man, at the expense of my boy Keith Lee. What are you trying to do, Tony? Why are you trying to... I don't want to see this, man. I do not want to see it because you know what's going to happen. I'm like, I'm loving what you're doing with Keith, but then you go and you do this. I wasn't feeling that at all, man. I say, no, this is terrible. This is terrible booking. I don't like it, man. I'm tired of, like I said, you had Nick Carmarato sitting right there. That's who he's dealing with. Before he can get his hands on Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks, finish the beef with QT Marshall. Now you finna have him destroy Max Caster? I'm like, dog, man. I'm tired of seeing the Acclaim just come on TV just to lose. I'm tired of this foolishness, man. I'm just getting this fed up with it, man. I'm tired of it. Man, you trying to turn the Acclaim into baby faces. They losing every day. They I'm telling you, like straight up jokes. It's stuff is I can't put up with this foolishness, man. I cannot. And you doing this at the expense of building up Keith Lee. I don't like that, man. I don't like that mess at all, man. That's terrible. That's a terrible decision. When Keith, think about this. When Tony Khan did the foolishness with having Jurassic Express lose, then he go and follow up with this goofy. The promo was great until Tony Schiavone said what the matchup was going to be on Rampage. I said, oh, boy. At the expense, the Acclaim got to lose again. And you're doing it at a man who I want to see succeed. So it's a messed up situation. It's messed up. Like I said, man, Tony on some other stuff, man. He on some other stuff. So anyway, Come back, we got Moxie, Bryan, William Regal taking on best friends Wheeler Yuta and Chucky T. You had Dan the Clown out there, Orange Cassidy, and Trent Beretta. They all came out, right? Now, William Regal got on commentary, and you know what? William Regal fits right in. He fits in perfectly on commentary. He fits in perfectly because he knows exactly what to say. And they was asking him about his new creation by bringing together Moxley and Bryan Danielson. Listen, Yuta, I'm gonna talk about his situation, but this matchup was pretty much all it was about. Again, this is about the chemistry of Moxley and the chemistry of Bryan. The chemistry is getting 1,000% better because they going in. Moxley come in, do what he got to do. Tag Bryan in. Bryan come in, do what he got to do. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And who was getting most of the beat down? It was Yuta. Yuta was hanging in there for a good minute. Chucky tried to do a little something, but all this was basically about, like I said, the chemistry with William Regal's boys. That's all this was about. And Yuta got destroyed, right? So after the matchup, they won. So Moxley and them win. After the matchup, you see Yuta walking off with everybody, and they start going a little quicker. He look at them, then he turn around, look at the ring, look at William Regal and them still chilling in the ring. He go run in the ring. William Regal look at him. He looking at him. William Regal just slaps the dog poop out of him. I mean, he just boom. He looked right at him like he was finna do something. Then you seen Bryan come running up like he finna like, yo, you need me to rough him up? And he told him, he said, listen, young man, you got promise, but we really not checking for you right now. Get better. Obviously, this is leading to something. I guess they building up a faction. I don't know what they doing. I have no idea what's in store, what kind of faction they trying to build. But obviously, Yuta in the best friend situation ain't working. Yuta looks strong, and he got a serious pop. They was screaming Yuta. Listen, San Antonio crowd was off the chain. The one thing about Dynamite and AEW, the fans, I got to give them props. They know how to make noise throughout an entire show. Even if certain matches they not feeling, they'll still make a little noise. But I give kudos to the fans of San Antonio because they was rocking. This moment made Yuta. Yuta may not have a gimmick or whatever, but the boy can wrestle his tail off. Like I said, he's improving in the ring. He's getting better and better. And this segment alone made him into a much even bigger star than he was. So I don't know where we're going with this, but obviously this is going to lead to something. So for me, this is a very good match. Y'all know me. I'm not too big on 50 million tag team matches on the show. But this was a very good match. It's very, very good. Very good. So we're going to move on from that. So, like I said, I talked about all this, talked about that. So then we come to the back. FTR talking to, I think he was talking to Alex Marvez, and they was talking about how they got rid of Tully, and they said that Tully was holding us back. You know, we respect the mess out of him, but he was holding us back. You know, we won the titles the first time, but the second time he just got in our way, and he really didn't give a care. Then, out of nowhere, here come these clown young bucks walking up, and I said, why are we running this back right now? Ain't y'all dealing with Red Dragon and Adam Cole? Why are y'all trying to beef with FTR? Why? There's absolutely no reason for it. They should be focusing on Red Dragon and Adam Cole. Now they turning their attentions to the fools who they already beef with. I'm like, I don't know, man. So obviously they without a manager, but the part that everybody's going off on is what Dax and them said. No, not Dax. Matt and Nick Jackson. They said we don't care if you go and get the best in the world, the best. So they tease that there's a possibility that the legend himself, the guy who was there when they introduced the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, I'm talking about the man, the wrestling machine himself, Bret Hart. There's a potential speculation that he may be on his way to AEW to manage FTR. I don't know if that's the case, but if he's coming, I don't know what type of role is he going to play. Is he going to be the baby face or is he going to be the heel? I don't know. There's a lot of people that's joining at the bit that they want to see this. Do I want to see it? You know what? Hey, they love Bret Hart. They love him. I'm telling you, FTR everything they do, they talk about Bret like it's nothing. They enjoy him. CM Punk loves Bret Hart. So many people in AEW enjoy that man. So with him coming on board, I ain't got a problem with it because AEW actually knows how to treat the legends. They treat them with respect. I mean, look at Sting over behind. Sting out there balling out right now at 63 years old, having the time of his life. So they know how to treat the legends with respect. So if Bret does come over and he manages FTR, kudos. I just want to know which way are they gonna go. Because for me, I think FTR is better as a heel. They just always fit that role. I'm not sure if they can flip the script and have them be the baby faces, but we'll see. We'll see. But like I said, I really don't know about them trying to run it back with the Young Bucks right now. I don't know about that. If I'm them, I'm trying to focus on Red. Think about it. Red Dragon and them is trying to take their titles that they rightfully used to own. They don't own the titles right now, but they said we're gonna turn our attentions on FTR, who we already beat, who we already had multiple matches with. We trying to run it back with them. Nah, I wouldn't have done it. So like I said, I really wouldn't. I like that they teased Bret Hart, but outside of that, I wasn't really feeling that. So we come back. We got the Acclaim trying to cut a promo on Keith Lee. And I just shaking my head like, man, my boys are being treated like hot garbage. They being treated like hot garbage, and I it's just frustrating, man. I want to see my boys shine, and I don't want to see them shine like how they doing right now, being jokes, because that's all they are right now. TK's turned them back to utter jokes because every time they say something, it goes nowhere. So Max Caster tried to cut his promo, and then Anthony Bowens was about to start doing everybody loves the Acclaim, where you see a hand grab his fingers like that. It just turned out it was Ricky. Ricky said, listen, now we asked you all to do the work. We need you to do what nobody else has been able to do. We need you to take that dude out. Take Keith Lee out. He's in our way. We need to put an end to this Keith Lee business. Can you handle it? And they said, sure, we can, but I just got one thing. Oh, now as they talking, Swerve popped up out the woodwork, and I'm like, I don't know what this is, why, but let me tell y'all something. I'm just gonna be 1,000% with you. I'm gonna be 1,000% with you. Here we go again with this. Let's throw every Negro together. I'm serious. This is where they're going because they don't know exactly what to do. So let's go ahead and throw all the Negroes together. I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest problems with wrestling companies. I know people gonna be tripping about what I just said. I don't give a care. This the whole, let's just throw Negroes together because we don't know what to do with them. That's basically what it is. Swerve had absolutely nothing to do with this. He popped up and got into Ricky Stark's face, so obviously you know what this is going to lead to. It's going to be Keith Lee and Swerve versus Ricky and Will Hobbs down the line somewhere. I already know. Because that it's the whole we don't know what to do. We don't know. And it's unfortunate, but that's a lot of wrestling promotions as a whole. They just don't know exactly how to book us the way we should be booked. It's like they just try their best and it's like, let's throw something at the wall, and it's like it's a waste of time. Now, I'm hoping I'm jumping the gun and have egg on my face when everything is all said and done. But with Swerve just coming out the woodwork, I'm like, so anyway, Swerve walks off, and then Max is like, hey, ain't that guy's a rapper? Like that was basically the end of that. So I'm like, well, here we go. I'm like, we're going to see where it goes, but it is what it is. So after all that, Judas music hits. Chris Jericho's new inner circle. They call themselves the Jericho Appreciation Society. They all come out to the ring. And we open up with, I believe that's Matt. Matt yelling at, you know what, let me tell y'all something. I don't know what it is about heel guys or whatever, but they seem to think yelling in the mic is the way to get across their promos. My man just yelling in the mic. I'm like, man, like, you ain't got to yell to get your point across. We hear you, dude. Now, can he talk? Yes. 2.0, definitely, they good talkers. Him and the Jeff, they can talk. But all the screaming, you ain't got to scream. MJF is the one that just needs to scream. He the only one that's allowed to scream. Not everybody else. Everybody else need to scream. We don't need all that. We can hear you perfectly. You don't need to be doing all that screaming. So he said what he had to say. Jeff said what he had to say. Then Jericho hopped on the mic and he talked about how they would no longer be calling themselves professional wrestlers. They are now known as sports entertainers. Obviously, you know this is a jab at WWE because WWE has basically proclaimed that WWE no longer stands for wrestling. It's one, they said it's a media program and that they are nothing more than sports entertainers. Now, let me go ahead and try to decipher this because there seems to be some type of disagreement in the IWC. Half of the folks in the IWC say that AEW is strictly pro wrestling, then they focus on WWE and say that it's just sports entertainment. Can I tell y'all that it's basically a blend of everything? Now, AEW does focus more on the wrestling side of things, but there's a lot of entertainment that's going on, and you're presenting this as a sport. Am I correct? So if you're presenting this as a sport, and you have the show be an entertaining show, therefore you can say that professional wrestling is sports entertainment. For some reason, we get it mixed up because we look at what Vince McMahon has done with wrestling and he has turned it into a complete joke. Therefore, cats automatically just say, well, sports entertainment only means clowning. Well, AEW has a lot of buffoonish stuff that goes on a regular basis. I'm not here to argue with nobody. I'm not. Professional wrestling as a whole, there is some sports entertainment mixed in it. You're entertaining folk. Wrestling is a sport. Am I correct? It's a professional sport. Am I correct? Professional wrestling is a sport, right? And you're trying to entertain somebody. Well, basically, that's what they all doing. So he said we're no longer going to be calling everybody by their fake names, by bad creative. We're going to call them by their real names. And Jericho said some clown, I don't know, it was stupid. It was real dumb. I was like, okay, this is stupid. But it got over, because people love it. And so after he said what he said, Daniel Garcia got on there. He said, hey, hold on, man. Listen. You know what? I got something to say. I'm a sports entertainer. Now, apparently, he suffered a serious, terrible accident where he was broken up. And Jericho apparently paid for his injuries and everything. And that was kudos to him. And then Jericho mentioned Kevin Owens that all of them knew who Matt and Jeff was. And he took them under his wings and all this stuff. And then he talked about how Jake Hager saved them when they was out in Dubai and all this crazy stuff. And he been his road dog since 2010 and all that stuff. And let me tell you something. Look, Jericho might have his ways when it comes to quote unquote the political realm and all that stuff, because there's a lot of fools in the IWZ, especially on my spectrum. They can't stand his guts because they're gonna. And matter of fact, he even mentioned it. He mentioned January the 6th. Well, the reason why he mentioned that is because there's a lot of people that's giving him hate because his wife was out there 2020. Was it 2020? Yeah, 2020, right? His wife was out there 2020, out there doing all the crazy stuff at the White House when all them people did all the shenanigans. So a lot of us is holding it against them, and that's all they know. But when it comes to reinventing yourself, Jericho's one of the best. He can reinvent himself so many different times. See, you got it. That's just cold. I got to give that man props. Like I said, I don't agree with him on a whole lot of stuff, but I do like the fact that he knows how to reinvent himself. He and Edge seem to be the only two that know how to do that. Now, I hope other cats in in wrestling in general can learn to do that too, because you got to stay fresh. If you stay in this one person this whole time, cats gonna get bored of it. And me, I was ready for this fool to go. Am I still ready for him to go? Yeah, I'm ready for him to go. I'm ready for him to go chill somewhere. But you know what? He's reinventing himself, and now he has this new inner circle. They call themselves the Jericho Appreciation Society or whatever. They talk about they finna beat up on professional wrestlers or whatever. Jake Hager hopped on the mic and said what he is. He said he's a sports entertainer too and all that. It's obvious that that man's always going to be his right hand man. That's all Jake Hager's there to do. Um, I mean, he got over. You know, we gonna see where it's going. Obviously, and then they cracked jokes on Eddie Kingston them and said obviously they not here and it's good because if they was here we would have beat the brakes off of them. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, we gonna see where it goes. This is designed to get 2.0 and Daniel Garcia over. That's basically what it is. It's designed to get those cats over. I just seen some on my phone. That's why I would look down like that. It's designed to get these cats over. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see with that. So decent segment. Jericho's always Jericho gonna do Jericho things. You know what I mean? But that's that. Now we get a little promo for Serena Deeb. Talked about, hey Sheeta, I see I've been living rent free in your head. Apparently all you thought about while you was out there in Japan was me. But I ain't been thinking about you. I just been basically beating the bricks off of every girl that got in my face. And since you say you want more of me, I'm going to show you exactly why I am the professional. Serena Deeb is excellent. She's excellent at what she's doing. This professional role is off the chain. Like I said, I didn't think I would enjoy Serena Deeb this much. Girl is on fire right now. She's on fire, and this feud with her and Sheeta, obviously this is the finale. This is it. Because after this, the girls got to move on to their next feud or whatever. But excellent. Now we get to this matchup. Scorpion Sky, TNT title. Paige Van Zant, her husband, his name is Austin Vanfort. Dan Lambert, taking on Mr. Mayhem, a.k.a. Wardlow. Now, everybody in their mama's mama already knew what was going to happen here. Obviously, the matchup, it wasn't even a matchup. And this is what I didn't like about the matchup. I knew Sky was going to win because of all the foolishness that had to take place. I wish they would have allowed Wardlow and Sky to grapple up a little bit and give us something. Let Sky look like he know what he doing. This was basically, let me powerbomb this fool 24/7. Had this fool looking like he have absolutely no idea, no business being the champion. We just going to throw him out there. He just going to get his behind kicked all day long until MJF and Shawn Spears come out there. Because that's basically what it was. And then Dan Lambert getting up there trying to cause a distraction and all this crazy stuff. I'm like, man, I listen, I'm cool with it. All the stuff outside, the shenanigans, great. Everything that took place, great. MJF coming out, Shawn Spears, Wardlow should have knew better. Like, as soon as Shawn Spears came, as soon as Shawn came out there, he should have been like, hey, where's Max? But, he had to be goofy as that. Max came out of nowhere, whacked him with the diamond ring. Sky, all he did was roll him up. Sky got annihilated, and unfortunately, Sky got no pop at all. And it's sad. And like I said, man, I remember what I told y'all about the tokenism. If Sky was getting reasonable wins on TV, and I'm not talking about Dark, I'm not talking about Elevation, I'm talking about being built up to win on Rampage, being built up to win on Dynamite, then the matchup itself would have been fine with him and Sam because the match was great. But now you go out there, you have my man basically get annihilated. I told you, man, I'm giving this dude 2 months. TK, you got 2 months to make Sky one of the best, best TNT champions on the planet. You got 2 months to do it, man. And I saw this and I was like, man. And look, it ain't the fact that, cause I told you, I knew Wardlow was going to get screwed. I knew he was going to get screwed. Like, everybody knew, like, come on, you a clown. It was fools that literally said that this was going to be Scorpion's the shortest TNT championship reign in AEW history. I said, yeah, if Tony Khan would have pulled that buffoonery, you could forget it. You knew what was going to happen. You knew dang well if they would have pulled that buffoonish crap. I told you, TK cannot be like that buffoon over in Connecticut. He just can't. But if he tried that buffoonish stuff, oh man, you already knew what would have happened. So that idea just went out the door. I don't know where these fools in the IWC was wanting, because obviously they was mad at Sec that the man lost. We knew he was losing. MJF and Sean Spears was going to be the obvious reasons. We already knew that. But the match itself, Sky looked like a joke. Warlow basically annihilated him the entire match. Like, Sky didn't really do anything. I don't even like I think he kicked him in his knee, but that was the only thing he really did. He didn't really do nothing. Sky looked like a complete clown. And then after the match, MJF paid off. MJF paid off Dan Lambert. Dan Lambert, he gave him that. I think he gave him a couple of stacks. I think he gave him $100K, something like that. Paid him off and everything because they helped him out, and acting a fool, clowning, and then after that, Paige and Austin, they started jumping Warlow, basically trying to get their licks in and all that stuff, So then they walked out, and then MJF and Sky basically MJF and Sean Spears basically annihilated Warlow, beating him down with the chair and all that stuff, and we know where we're going. Now, is this going to lead all the way into May? I don't know. If it is, what they need to do is they need to get Warlow off TV. They need to beat Warlow up so bad that this puts him off TV for a bit, and then as we get close to Double or Nothing, then you bring him out, and then we get the feud, we get the matchup at Double or Nothing if you want to save it that long. But obviously, TK always trying to get. Like I said, man, I don't need to have 50 million matches out of it. I can just, if you give me one, and if you're gonna do the rematch, milk this thing out. Don't have to give it to me back to back to back. You just don't, because then that's when matches just get stale, and you're like, I'm good, So, but that's that. Sky retains. Like I said, he got 2 months. Tony Khan got 2 months to make Scorpion Sky one of the best TNT champions on the planet. 2 months. I'm giving him 2 months. I'm giving him 2 months. Because there's still a whole lot of cats in the IWC. And listen, that's on TK. Like, I don't want to hear this stuff talk about Sky's born. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Sky was over like a mug when he was with SCU. He ain't got himself over. This is on the clown who's booking the show. Talk to him. Don't talk to Sky. Sky is a wrestler. Sky is doing his job. He got you triggered. He got you mad. My job, or me, I want to see the dude presented right. I don't want to see him presented as this clown who can't win. The only way he win is if his crew keep cheating. Make Sky a presentable champion. Make his title run be worth something. So that's that. So I talked about all this. Then we get this matchup right here. We get Private Party taking on the debut, Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. They are going by the Hardys. This matchup was very good. This was an excellent tag team match. The Hardys are coming. And they went against Matt's Prodigies for a reason. Matt's Prodigies had to lose. Because I'm telling you right now, you do know the Hardys will be winning those AEW Tag Team Champions. Not sure if it'll be next year, but they're going to win them. And when they do, there's only one team to take off. Ain't nobody else. Private Party will be the team to dethrone them. That is all I had to say about that. Great tag team match. Isaiah and Marquand. Listen, they get better and better. Like I said, I want TK to start booking them as if he gives a care about them too. But like I said, the tag team division is looking excellent right now. The tag team division is so doggone stacked, it don't even make no sense. We got so many doggone tag teams in AEW, man. You can think about this. You can book so many different feuds if you put the time and effort into it, and you have cats get credible wins. Not on no Dark, not on no Elevation, Rampage, Dynamite. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So the Hardys win. Andrade squad come running out. They surround the ring. Private Party look like they just got beat down because they did. And then who come out? Sting and Darby come running out to save the day. You do know that we're going to get a 4-on-4. Multi-man matches. Listen, they got the beef. Beef calls for it. Why not? I'm not a fan of them. But like I say, It matters because the beef is there. They've been beefing. Do it. When do you do it? You do it on a special Dynamite. I don't want to see it at your pay-per-view. You do it on a special Dynamite. You give us a special Dynamite, that's when you do it. So, that's that. So, yeah, talked about that. Now, for some reason, everybody talked about there was a promo with Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander. And Chris Statlander is no longer finna be the alien because they showed her taking the makeup off. And obviously the matchup, and they let Red Velvet talk. Red Velvet talked about how she used to think Layla was her friend, but now she got to show Layla some, the business and all that. I'm like this, man. Man, I hate to keep going back to it, but man, I want to see I told y'all, I want to see the cats that look like me get the proper shine by having them be built up. And now you throwing Red right back on TV. You know she losing. You know she is losing. It's basically, the only way she wins is if Chris screws Layla. That is the only way. But you know it's not going to happen. Chris going to come out there after the match is over. I'm telling you right now. Chris is going to come out there. Layla's going to win. And then she's basically going to be about to break Red's arm or something. And then Chris going to come out there and, I already see it. But that's that. So we get to the main event. So they show the footage from last year's St. Patrick's Day. The lights out match. That's the match that made Brit into who she is now. We get into this matchup now. The challenger comes out. Now, before everything, Thunder Rosa had an all-female mariachi. I might be saying the name wrong. Mariachi band. They was playing, like I said, this is a representation of who she is. She's from San Antonio, so the crowd, you already know, this is a home crowd. This is a home team crowd. Thunder representing. She representing for the culture, for the Hispanic culture, all that stuff. Excellent. Great. Listen, see, we don't get mad when people of other cultures or other races want to represent them, but for some reason, everybody get mad when it's our turn. She had the crew out there. Then she came out there, listen, whole face paint. She actually looked good with this face paint on. I mean, decked out, the red, the green, and the white. Come out, then Miss DMD comes out by herself. No Jamie, no Rebel. I'm sitting up and saying to myself, okay, so me thinking that because I've seen steel cage matches where, quote unquote, the heel squad, the heels goons, are, supposed to be kept out, find a way to get in there. They didn't even show up at all. There was a part in this matchup, referee get laid out, so obviously Arby had to come in there. Now, obviously, I don't know if they're trying to do a feud between Arby and Brit because obviously, they don't like each other. Listen, both of these girls are tough as nails. Brit might look like she's quote unquote soft. No, she's not. Britt Baker is hardcore. And there was a lot of fools that was complaining and crying, talking about it was here go AEW once again with the blood. Ladies and gentlemen, this matchup called for it. You see, WWE has brainwashed so many different people that wrestling and bleeding does not go together. Yes, it does. When it matters. I tell you all the time. Yeah, AEW does have a problem with bleeding all the time. They do. Sometimes they overboard. It's very overboard. But this matchup, it called for it. So I didn't mind either one of the girls bleed. And boy, did they bleed. Started with Brit first, and then Thunder got busted open as well. They got the thumbtacks out there, and you already know. I mean, listen, girls, they was doing work. They did work. They went out there. They did what they had to do. But this was all about the changing of the guard. And for the AEW's women's division, we have a new AEW women's champion. Miss Thunder Rosa defeated Dr. DMD Britt Baker, and she is now carrying the torch. The name of the game now is the elevation for the girls now. I told y'all from previous reviews, the moment she won this championship, elevation level is up. Ain't no more games. Ain't no more playing games. taking the women's division serious is a serious thing. No more games. Games are up. Because Thunder Rosa, now with her getting it, now we're going to be focusing more on the in-ring work. Dr. DMD, Britt Baker, her championship run was solid. She did what she was supposed to do, which was put the AEW women's division on the map. She did what she had to do. She became a star. I wasn't on Britt's bandwagon, but the girl grew on me, and she grew on me. First, she grew on me because she got great in promo. Then she grew on me on her in-ring work. Is her in-ring work the best? No, it's not. But what she was able to do, what she was able to bring to the table, listen, you got to give the girl nothing but props. I got to give her a hand clap. I had to. Because she did what she was supposed to do. Now she's the star. Now, if she wants to take a break, go ahead and take a break. Do your dentistry. Do it. But she did what she had to do. Now it's Thunder Rosa's turn now. Thunder Rosa's turn is now to really put the women's division on the map and say that we just as good as fellas. You just ain't tuning in to AEW just to watch the dudes. You tuning in to watch the women as well. You tuning in because you want to see good wrestling all around. All elite wrestling is for everybody, correct? That's what they say. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, this was a very solid Dynamite. I said it was decent. Yes, it was decent. I told you the issues that I had. But like I said, overall, this show was built around the women's. It was built around them. Now, it was a lot of stuff that happened in this match that was rushed. There was a lot of no selling because they was trying to speed up. They was trying to speed up a whole lot of things. I told you, timing and pacing has always been an issue with AEW. It's one of the things that I constantly keep talking about. Certain things that you need to have on the show, you have on the show, but I think the girls, they should have gave the girls a little bit more time to do what they wanted to do. But because they was pressed for time, and then you're trying to fit in the dumb picture by picture. Picture by picture does not, it will never work when it's a championship match. I don't even care what nobody got to say. If it's a championship match on television, picture by picture will always mess it up. So the fact that they trying to go with the picture by picture and they trying to do, that killed a whole lot of stuff. And then, like I said, they was pressed for time because they said, all right, hurry up, get this done so you can get off. So we got to get to the next program. Timing and pacing has always been an issue, and they're going to have to learn how to get this right. Now, when it comes to the production, they getting better with the camera angles. The camera angles or whatever they doing, they getting great with that. They getting better and better. Whoever telling them to work on whatever they've been working on, excellent. Now, I forgot to talk about this. Jade and Smart Mark cut a promo talking about who's going to be the lucky number 30. And Jade basically interrupts. She said, enough with the crap. Listen, who's going to be my next charity case? Because whoever she is, I'm just going to beat the brakes off of. And he said something about that kiss of death stuff. She said, that's if I want to do it. Look, don't change Jade. Let Jade be Jade without all this extra stuff. The girl is improving in every area, man. The girl is getting good on the mic. She getting better in the ring. Don't be doing all this extra stuff. You don't need to be doing all this stuff. Like, if I'm her, I'm killing that. I know I know everybody made a big old deal about it and all that stuff. I'm her. I'm just focusing on getting better in the ring, getting better on the mic, and becoming one of the best TBS champions on the planet. Because when the time comes for whoever plans on dropping that title, or whoever she plans on dropping that title to, it's going to be that much more important. And y'all already do know, since Thunder is the AEW Women's Champion, you do know that they're going to run Jade to her back, and Jade going to lose to her. So obviously this is going to be after Jade done lost the TBS Championship. But outside of that, man, I'm trying to think, is anything I'm leaving off the show? No. I'm trying to, like I said, that's basically it. Oh, and after she won, Dustin Rose came down, gave her a hug, and she broke down in tears because obviously, this meant huge because I believe she's the first Hispanic, Mexican-born woman to win a major championship in North America, I think. But it was huge. And then she hugged the whole family and everything. This is a huge moment. This was huge. Thunder Rosa now is carrying the torch. I'm looking forward to seeing what TK does Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honest AEW review. Like I said, better than last week, but that's that. I seen the update from Big E. Big E is doing great. He's walking around now. Like I said, if I'm Big E, I ain't coming back to next year. If I'm him, I'm taking it to. I'm waiting to 94, to 2024. 94 passed a long time ago. Yeah, but if I'm him, I'm gonna wait to 2024 because I want to make sure that this neck is 1,000% better. Because obviously he didn't need no surgery or nothing like that. And but hey, that's that, man. So obviously, kudos to him, man. Just still praying for him, keep him in your prayers and everything. And hey, that's that, man. This your boy KSFL, King Stuff for Life Wrestling Takes. I'll talk to y'all cats. If not tomorrow, sometime this weekend, because Rampage is coming on extra late due to the national college basketball tournament on right now, March Madness. So more than likely, I'll be doing a review either Saturday or sometime Sunday. So I'll be reviewing it. But hey, that's that. So I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all know what to do. Hit the comment section up. Hey, shout out to that dude King Mike. I told you, Mike. I told you what was gonna happen. Mike talked about Thunder Rosa ain't winning, and she, no, you knew dang well she was winning, bro. Like, come on now. It was time. Brit did a great job, but Cass was just get tired of Brit. Like Brit, Cass, we don't need no more Brit. Let Brit go. Let her do her dentistry. Then she come back and start feuding with a whole lot of other cats. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's that, man. I'm gonna talk to you cats later. I'll let you. Kudos to Adam Cole. Why am I saying this? Keith Lee actually was on the interview with somebody else, and they asked him about his friendship with Adam Cole. Now, everybody know that Adam Cole and Keith always have been, will be in that meme with him coming out the woodwork and pouncing them all over. So he said that him and Adam Cole are tight, and he said that when he was considering coming to AEW, he talked to Adam, and Adam said, "Hey man, listen, I'm having the time of my life. As much as fools in the IW think the dude is not being booked right, thinking that he's miserable, the man said, I'm having the time of my life. He's able to be with his lady full time. They ain't got to be, one is over here, the other one is over there. They get to travel the road together. He get to do what he loves with his homies. He told Keith, listen, man, you're going to feel like a glove. You come over here. And then Keith said that 3 days after he was released from WWE, Tony Khan did reach out to him. So obviously Tony wanted him. But he wasn't sure. Because he like, I just left a major wrestling corporation. I just left WWE. I just left NXT. Should I really trust this Tony Khan cat? Adam Cole said, man, I'm telling you, you come over here, you're going to love it. Listen, man, I got to give Adam Cole nothing but respect, man. Listen, y'all know y'all talking to somebody who really wasn't an Adam Cole guy, but the man, listen, you can't, I can't disrespect this guy. I just can't. Dude is he's been a real one, man, and he go out there, he try to do his best to have classics with so many different people. And now the fact that him and Keith Lee is homies, the fact that Vince actually tried to make Keith Lee and him a manager and wrestler. So Adam Cole was supposed to be his manager, his mouthpiece or whatever. The fact that he said that's his homie. So kudos to him. Adam Cole is one of the major reasons. So if you want to thank anybody, thank Adam Cole for basically convincing Keith Lee, come on over to AEW. Now, as of right now, I'm gonna see what we do because I told y'all what AEW, what I'm seeing from what I'm seeing. This is what I see. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but what I see is the whole. We got so many different brothers. Let's throw them all together because we really don't know what the heck to do with them. That's what I feel. Until they do something different, until they start venturing off to other stuff. Now Sky is the only one. Sky and Jade are the only two that are not because obviously they the champions right now. But everybody else, we're going to see. We're really going to see because I told you, I want to see all the cats. I want to see Keith. I want to see Will. I want to see Ricky. I want to see Jay. I want to see Swerve. I want to see The Acclaim. I want to see Top Flight. Private Party. Red Velvet. Like I said, I want to see all these cats that I named be presented in a positive and great light. So when it comes time for them to eventually get pushed into the areas that they need to be pushed in, man, we're gonna be some of the most happiest, coolest, like excited. We're gonna be excited and say because we like, man, AEW really do give a crap. Because it's a lot of us in the IWC, especially that little E, they really don't trust Tony Khan. They think Tony Khan just as bad as Vince McMahon when it's concerned to us. They really do. And for me, I'm hanging in there. I gave you my explanation on some of the things that I don't like on what I'm seeing, but I'm still hanging in there. I'm not going to disrespect Tony Khan. I'm going to give him a chance to actually do what we need to do. He needs to quit clowning with the Acclaim. Quit clowning with all these other cats. Let's get this show on the road. Let's get this show on the road. I want to see our cats do great. I don't know, because our cats can do great. They can do 1,000% great. They sure can. I don't want to see my cats just be on the show just to be on the show. I want to see them do great. I want to see Sky do great. I want to see Jade do great. I want to see Red do great. I want to see Top Flight do great. I want to see Proud and Powerful do great. I want to see them do great too. I want to see Private Party do great. I'm telling you, I want to see Ricky, Will Hobbs, Keith, Jay Lethal when he finally show back up. Because he been stuck on Dark, is what I'm told. You know. And, the governor, how to forget him. But, and word now is talking about that Josh Gresham is in a mixed bag on whether or not he want to just stay on the Ring of Honor side or he want to come to AEW. That's because of the beef between the governor and him and his wife. That's all that's about. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, Anthony Gogo got into it with Jordan Grace, which is Josh Gresham's wife. He chimed in, and it just got ugly. And so we know Anthony Gogo works for AEW. I feel like that's basically been one of the pushbacks from Josh Gresham. Like, that's been one of his pushbacks. If I'm him, I'm still coming. Because a lot of people have been clamoring for him versus Bryan. A lot of people think he is a black version of Bryan Danielson. You know what? Listen, I've seen Josh wrestle. And I think the young man is great. But do I think he's a Bryan Danielson? I don't know how people see it. I don't see it. I just see him as Josh Gresham. You know, I don't see him as a... First of all, I call him Mr. Octopus Head because he rocked that octopus mask. Still don't understand that. I don't know, like I said, because I really don't know Josh Gresham like that. There's a lot of people that, if you watch Ring of Honor, you understand why he rocks that octopus mask. It kind of reminds me of like Pirates of the Caribbean. But, you know, I think Josh Gresham is his own guy. You know, a lot of people, like I said, they see Daniel Bryan. Listen, when they tangle up, I'm going to watch that match carefully because I want to see them go at it. I do. But is it going to happen on AEW or is it going to happen on Ring of Honor? Only time will tell. Only time will tell, you know. Tony Storm, apparently she on the way. Athena's on the way. Listen. Hey, good times for AEW right now. Like I said, I told y'all, man, I keep it real for AEW. I don't want to come on here and take a dump on them all the time, but I want to give them the proper respects when they deserve. And as of right now, in the ratings, they did 993. Listen, keep it up. Keep it up. You want cats to care about your program. Keep it up. Keep it up. If your program ain't worth watching, cats ain't gonna tune in. I don't care how many debuts you got. If your programming is not worth watching, people are just not gonna be interested. It's just not. You can talk about all these other things on like March Madness and the political stuff and all that stuff. Man, cats just not gonna give a rat's behind about it. They're just not. You know. But hey, listen, this is just me being as honest as I could possibly be. Just tell you the boldest truth how I feel about the show. Do I think the show was better than last week? 1,000%. I still had the issues. I told you the issues that I had about the show. But like I said, for the most part, very good show, very decent. And we move on to Rampage. So I talk to y'all cats. Like I said, I'll talk to you when I talk to you. So whether that's Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to talk to you. Because you're going to hear more. give you my honest thoughts on Rampage, and we're gonna move on from that. So I'll talk to y'all cats later. I'll let you boy.